Hey guys, Marcus Brown, another FlowPoint podcast. Guess what? I'm with Mr. BallOfSpray, John Horton. Dude, what's up? Tell us a little bit about where we are and what we're sitting in right now.
Dude, we're in my brand new 50-year anniversary 2018 ProStar, and this is my first Mastercraft, and I am so darn excited to be involved with Mastercraft, and so we're checking it out. Nobody's skied behind this boat yet. Marcus just kind of giving me the tour, and we're checking it out.
Dude, stoked you're part of the team, man.
Stoked to be part of the team.
And I must say, this boat is one of the brighter, flashier ProStars I've seen out there. Not what I would have picked, but now that I see it in person, I actually love it.
Well, you know the story. You know,
Yeah.
my wife is a world-renowned entomologist, and in her previous job, she was really involved in raising bumblebees. So I laid out a boat in her honor in yellow and black.
I love it. It's got some history.
Yeah, it's got some history. That's a complete lie, by the way.
He's good on his feet. He just made that up.
It's mostly true, except for yeah.
So we've done this before, but it's your boat now.
Yeah.
And I really want to talk about some of the interior elements.
Please.
So, you know, I had a hand in designing this thing. It was a really fun project. Some of my favorite features, as you go kind of around the boat, starting at the back, obviously, is the step-through transom. Really love that thing. It makes it easier for young and old skiers to get from the platform to the inside of the boat or vice versa. Also, underneath that platform step, there is an access door. So if you wanted to actually take care of your boat and grease your rudder housing, it's very easy to do that. You don't have to get all, elbows deep and greasy to actually make it happen. It's an easy access point. In the back, we have 2 storage bins, 1 on each side. You also have the battery access point on the port side over there. Also, ski racks. You got the ski rack option, which I'm really pleased with. I feel like everybody should get the ski rack option because these ski racks are genius. They don't take any space when you're not using them, but when you're using them, the boat's wide enough that even the bindings facing inward, you still have as much, if not more room as any other direct drive in the market right now to walk to and from the back and the front of the boat. One of the other cool things about this boat is the driver's seat and the helm area. We went with an adjustable seat back.
Yeah.
Because some people like to be in band class and other people like to be chill, Snoop Dogg when they're driving. So you can choose your setting. It's just like anything else. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Well, you can choose your seat setting as well. Also with this dash, we were able to really reduce the look over height. So my mom, who's 75 years old and really short, doesn't need 5 history books to be able to see over the steering wheel. So we also wrap the helm around the driver so everything is at arm's length. Also, we have analog gauges for the important stuff like oil pressure, temp, and fuel level. And we also have a touchscreen display and everything's integrated. And the zero off integration is, I think, the best out there just because the user friendliness is top notch. Like, it's very intuitive, almost like your iPhone would be or your smartphone. One of the other things that John just found out was we have this glove box for the handy dandy glove box for the driver, and that actually is useful for me on the lake. I put my phone in there, I put my things in there, my wallet that I don't want to forget about, and they're easy access when I got to get on the dock and fill the boat up. One of the other things is the walk-through seat back, and this thing operates so easily. You just basically pull it towards you and it compresses down into a nice step to walk through to the bow. John got the bow seating, which I love, because why would you have an open bow without bow seating? Right. Even though you can go closed bow configuration and not have the upholstered seats up there, it's a beautiful thing to have because more times than not, you're gonna find that you actually use it at some point in your life, in the boat's life.
Let me stop you for a minute. Something that I think is really genius about this boat, I mean, as a tournament skier, the open bow isn't really something I'm gonna use very often, but for the recreational skier and for the resale market, Mastercraft is the only boat company that does that, right? With a hard shell cover over the closed bow. That closed bow hard shell is going to be on there 99.99% of the time. I've got it. But the fact that I can protect that front seating area, use it as storage, and then pop it off and I've got an open bow, it's best of both worlds. It's awesome.
Yep. There are days, even on the private lake, if you're strictly private lake goer, where you're going to have your kids out, your kids' friends out, and you're gonna want a few more seats for the kids, and it just adds another element to the ski boat. Top notch, I think the best ski boat out there, but yet you can still have an open bow configuration if you want. access panel for all your fuses and your main power shutoff right here. Super easy to grab. We've also got, if you have the open bow or the bow cover off, but you want to keep the wind from coming through, we got a handy dandy Mastercraft badge laden plexiglass shield that drops down in here into these slots to keep a perfect wind barrier just in case. But chances are you're on the lake, you're having a good time, you're going to want some breeze flowing through, and it's nice to have that when the bow cover's off. What I was getting to here was the center seat. You pull up, lift up. Here's your access point for your plug. And this is also about a 30-gallon capacity storage, or otherwise, I'm not going to say what you want to put in there. Maybe it goes with some ice, maybe not. But this is
Red
a beautiful...
Bulls.
Your Red Bulls, exactly.
Red Bulls go in there.
Keep you hydrated
Yeah.
on the lake. But this is a beautiful access point. You not only can get there from here, but you can also get there from this seat too. So 2 access points for 1 cavity here, 1 storage unit.
And a cutting board.
And a cutting board,
And a cutting
exactly.
board. So let me. So seriously, folks, I've seen this boat before, but it's been years. I mean, literally, I spent so little time in a ProStar. I'm so excited. What you just showed me, I mean, it's a little thing. The little things matter. That plug right there. Every other boat I deal with lately, taking the plug in and out, there's blood on your knuckles, right? And there's just a huge space. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, there's blood in your knuckles because you're in the bottom, the bilge of the boat. You're reaching through the water hose, and the hose clamp scrapes you every single time. So we don't have that problem because we have the plug up here.
That's cool.
A couple of the other things, the bimini is all integrated. There's no straps. The bimini is basically mounted to the reinforced windshield. So to deploy or stow the bimini takes anywhere from 20 to 40 seconds max, but it's a very quick process, and it's a very clean design that opens up your field of view. So when you're a spectator or a coach or just a driver, you can look unobstructed at your skier for safety, for visibility, for coaching, ease of access, and you don't have to look at these straps, and the straps aren't blowing in the wind.
Marcus, so if my skier falls and I have to pick something up as a driver,
that windshield is nice.
Hey, there's nothing in my way.
Exactly.
How awesome is that?
It's amazing how we all got used to these winglets, or these wings coming down on the windshield, and just a continuation of that line down to the top of the deck. But the problem was, that was just kind of, everybody's doing it because that's what everybody was doing.
Right.
So we decided, okay, well, what happens if? And we asked the question, and we said, well, you probably have a better ability to communicate with the skier, better ability to, like you said, access something off the side of the boat if you needed to. And also just, usually it's hot in the summer. In the middle of summer, it's hot. So if you can stick your arm out and get a little air, if you can, feel the boat spray as you go around the island, it actually just feels like you're in a bigger boat, even though you're not. Well, actually you are. The boat is 96 inches wide. That's the beam width. And it's the widest boat I think ever built for direct drive.
Really?
I'd say. I don't know any other boat that's that wide that has this much floor space that's still 20 foot. Given that fact, we were allowed to do the ski racks on both sides and still not obstruct the walkways. We were allowed to, or it afforded us the ability to make pretty much the flattest wake on the market, I think. Very little trough, very little rooster at the important line lengths, like 22 off and 28 off at the slower speeds. And I think that really resonates with a lot of people, because whether you're a kid, you're a mom, or you're a dad learning to get into skiing, you really, the hardest thing is to learn to stay on the edge and cut through the wakes. So this boat allows you to develop the ability and the skill set to keep your ski on edge through the wakes, because you're not worried about launching.
You know who the most important person on earth is for that? Our wives.
Yep.
Wives, girlfriends, children.
Yep.
My wife is going to be stoked. She's been skiing behind something else lately, and she's like, oh, when's the new boat get here? And because I've been promising her it's awesome, and it's going to be, and she's going to love it.
I've heard stories multiple times of husbands and wives talking about how are we going to make this work? This meaning this situation where the husband really wants to ski, the wife really wants to spend time with the husband, but the wife is scared to ski because she doesn't want to eat crap out the front. And this boat has solved, in multiple cases, I've heard success stories because of this boat. And that makes me feel good, and I think that makes the whole team at Mastercraft feel good, that we were able to execute on one of the main objectives. Because as a skier, when you're behind the boat at the end of the handle, all you really care about is the way the pull feels and the way the wake doesn't obstruct your ability to become the best skier that you can be.
Right.
And that was our goal. And
Yeah.
I think we hit on all marks.
For sure, absolutely.
So you still have storage under this passenger seat here. One of the cool things about it is the width. Because of that added width of the boat, you actually can fit 3 wide. Depending upon what 3 you're talking about, you can actually fit 3 wide right here comfortably.
No problem.
Nobody sitting on each other's laps, nobody elbowing, complaining to mom and dad, and then you still have a 4th person over there in the driver's seat. We have a glove box here, passenger side. It's a great access point. We've got, usually if you got a stereo, which, we won't talk about that then.
We didn't order stereo.
No stereo, but that's
stereo.
okay.
We're serious. We're slalom skiers. No stereo.
Sorry, very, very serious.
If you buy this boat from Mastercraft, if you buy this exact boat, you can add a stereo.
Exactly. We want to do a little quick interview
Yeah, totally.
while we're here, since we're sweating our nuts off anyway.
Yeah, why don't you scoot over and we sit there?
Okay.
I dare you say, hey, ballers. Can't do it?
I can do it. Hey, ballers and flow pointers. Here again, we just looked through this beautiful ProStar with John Horton, and now I guess the tables are going to get turned. For me, yeah, John's going to initiate the discussion about God knows what instead of me interviewing him. So we'll get to that later, maybe another day. You're basically going to put me through the ringer, and I'm just going to be over here squirming the whole time, I'm sure. So what do we got to talk about?
Well, so
How long have we known each other?
how long have we known each other?
I don't know.
83 something.
Probably, yeah.
You
It's probably
know,
like 6.
I'm a couple years older. You went on and made it into pro skiing, and I kind of did whatever I had to do. And
Yep.
you missed your high school graduation.
Yeah. So last night was my 20-year. I shouldn't have said that.
You can't edit that out.
20-year high school reunion, and I got crap last night from a couple friends because I didn't make our high school graduation ceremony. And the reason I didn't make it was because I was at a record tournament in Barstow, right across the street from your dad's lakes, and I had ripped my fingers off, got them caught in the handle, and I was in the hospital. But if it wasn't for your dad, Dr. Jack Horton, by the way, folks, the guy that invented the first man-made water ski lake, specific water ski lake, if it wasn't for him, I would probably be fingerless, at least these 2 fingers.
All right, so tell the story, how the fall happened.
So the fall happened. It was the last round of a record tournament, and Terry Winter and I were knocking on the door of, running midway down 39, and we were 18, and we really wanted to see if we could break through the door and knock a 39 down. But it was a long weekend. It was 38 off. I was coming back towards the dock, and I had a crappy 3, crappy 4, tail turn 5. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to lay it out for 6. We simultaneously had a unofficial crash contest going with Eric Cosney and a bunch of other guys. So in the back of my head, I'm like, well, I know I'm not gonna get out the exit gates, but maybe I can get a quarter, right? Or a half. And it'll probably be a good crash. Yeah. I'm young and stupid, 18. So I lay it out. I don't get around the buoy. Somehow my ski catches, hops me up the other way, and the handle wraps around my hand, the rope wraps around my ski. Will Bush is driving, and the next thing he knows is the whole boat basically stopped just got yanked back. My ski flew like 200 feet, and my hand got caught in that whole mess, got smashed in the ski, and I pulled my glove. My glove was hanging. I pulled my glove off, and I basically had 3 fingers that were just hanging down by the skin. And I knew right away that might be the last time I ever got to water ski for real. And so I thought I was screwed. And yeah, long story short, your dad was one of the 2 doctors on site, and he called 911, and he said, if you don't get a helicopter here, a life flight, this kid's gonna lose his fingers. So because your dad, I got life flighted to Loma Linda, which is a beautiful
Great
hospital in Southern California. Had an incredible doctor. Went in. I remember asking him when I was just in excruciating pain, getting off the helicopter. I said, am I ever going to be able to ski again? And he just said, I'm going to do my best. He didn't give me any promises. And he did 3 or 4 reconstructions in about 2 weeks. And I have my finger still. And that's why I wear a clincher. People always ask me why I wear a clincher on this right hand.
Right.
That's why. If I ski without it, one time I flew to a pro event in Detroit, Michigan, 2000 maybe, and I didn't have my clincher because I didn't have my ski gear because nothing showed up.
Of course.
plane lost my stuff. The airlines lost my stuff, so I had to ski with Jason Peretta's, ski and all of his gear and his gloves, and I couldn't hang on. I barely ran my opener, and I missed 32 off. So that's why I ski with a clincher.
All right.
That's a story, and that's one of my many injuries.
So let's go way back to the beginning. So you grew up in NorCal? You
Grew up
Chico?
in a small farming town called Biggs. It's about 1,000 people. It's about an hour and 15 minutes north of this site right here where the CaliProAm was.
So your parents were in skiing. I mean, how did it all get started? How did little Marcus Brown become a water skier?
Well, the short version is my parents were teachers, educators, coaches, and they had summers off. So my dad had a friend that got him introduced to skiing, and my dad said, "This is awesome. I gotta get a boat." So he built a boat, flat bottom outboard.
Built a boat.
Built a boat in like 1964 or 5, and that was kind of the birth of water skiing in my family. But it was all recreation,
right.
All recreational skiing, no course skiing until probably my brother was 13, I was 4, and he skied his first tournament, and then we were hooked. That was it. So ever since, it was my brother's fault, really, Matt Brown. He got us hooked on tournament
that
skiing.
Much older than you?
Yeah, he's 9 years older.
I didn't know that.
He's old, dude.
He seems
you
like
think
a
I'm
young
old?
dude.
He's old.
He's the wise one.
He is the wise one, exactly. So that's how we got into it, and it was kind of a catch-22 because my folks were teachers. So this is a very affluent sport in a lot of ways.
It wasn't so much back then.
It wasn't so much back then. So my parents kind of made a lot of sacrifices, did what it took to get us water time, and luckily, I'd found a passion that I was also decent at, and so that just kind of snowballed. And feel very fortunate to have had all the people around me, including my parents and my brother, as support, to get to where I got.
So that got you started. When when did it break through? I mean, I know that when you were like, well, how old were you when you won junior masters?
I think I was 16.
You were 16.
Yep.
So I mean, did you come up really fast?
I don't know if I came up really fast, but I do know that anything, just like anything else in life, if you don't have anybody next to you or ahead of you or slightly behind you pushing or to chase, you're not really going to reach your full potential. So I had the very good fortune of having my best friend Terry Winter, who
is right there.
Who's right there, by the way, who's starting at the age of 11, I believe, when we started hanging out skiing together right at the lake that the CaliProAm was at. We were neck and neck. He'd go out, he'd win a tournament. The next tournament, I'd go out, I'd beat him, and I was very fortunate to have that competitor to be able to chase and to push. And so I think we both, if you talk about at the pro level, we both skied our first pro event in 1996 in High Point, North Carolina.
Wow.
We were both 17, and I remember very distinctly Carl Roberge was killing it, winning every single jump event, and Jennifer Leachman, LaPointe, was skiing against the big dogs, skiing against us. And I think she almost beat us.
Beat you and Terry?
And I think we beat Mapple. We both beat Mapple because Mapple fell around 6 ball at 35 off. And I think we all ran 35 off. So anyway, that was a fun event. And then we really didn't, we had no business being at a pro event at the age of 17. No business. So it wasn't until 1999 at 2 lakes over, Lake One, we had our pro event. It was, the pro tour back then.
Right.
We had 16 stops worldwide. And Terry and I both made the finals at age 20.
That's amazing.
And I remember Ben Favre, one of the big names, interviewed us for Outdoor Life Network. We were on TV. We had made it to a different level than we ever thought we could. I think that's for both Terry and I think that's when we were like, okay, we gotta see this through, and we gotta see how far we can take it.
That's the turning point.
That was the turning point.
That's cool. But at that time, so that was after you'd won the junior masters.
After I'd won junior masters, but that was skiing against the big boys, Mapple, Roberge, LaPointe, Jeff Rogers.
Wow.
And that was when we were like, okay, we can hang. We just made the finals. We ran 38 off every round, and we can do this. We've got a chance. We have to get a little better. And that was the start of it. And of course, then I blew my ankle out about 2 weeks after that. And that was my third big injury. And so I had to take another year off.
How'd you wreck your ankle?
skiing mad and pissed and trying to run 41 off at one ball, and it didn't work.
You just stuck it in and hyperextended?
Hit the buoy, stuffed the tip grabbed, and I had built a custom front rubber boot that was basically a jump binding, and my foot would not come out. And I was young and dumb, 20 years old, and foot didn't come out, and I bruised bruised my knee on the top sheet of the ski, and my heel came up about a quarter inch. So I completely overflexed.
So message to the folks at home, my right ankle too. Don't make homemade bindings.
Don't make homemade bindings.
Don't make homemade bindings.
Always check your bindings, and first and foremost, make sure you're on something that you will come out of.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, people think that if both feet stay in or both feet come out, you're safe. Problem is, if both feet stay in, you can still jam your front ankle and pretty much annihilate it for life. So since then, I've injured it severely, at least 10 or 12 times, and various places around the country and the world, and it's plagues me to this day. And because of my ankle, I favored my back leg, because that was my front foot.
Oh.
And then I started developing the back issues more severely because I was favoring my back leg, whether it was just standing around talking at a water ski tournament, always standing on my left leg, or cranking an offside turn, defaulting to my back foot because I was too afraid of blowing the front ankle out again.
Oh, dude, you're.
So that's how injuries accumulate and are additive. So you got to really, really pay attention to your equipment, and you got to really, really check yourself and realize that it's practice. You don't need to go out and try to kill it every single ride.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Exactly.
No. Always get. You always. No.
Eye of the tiger every set. Okay, good. Let's see how that works out. Come back, talk to me in 3 years when you're held together by shoestrings.
All right. Tell me about your dumbest injury, because I got you beat. Whatever you got.
Okay. Let me hear yours first, because I got to see what kind of category I got to fit into.
All right, this toe right here, this joint right there,
Yep.
hyperflexed it so bad that, I can't get into rubber binding.
How much alcohol was there involved?
Stone cold sober, uncovering a boat, looking across, flipping the cover over, talking to the guy I was skiing with, and thought I was going to step on the dock and stepped into thin air, and fell down and hyperextended that thing up and smashed my knee. And it seriously cannot get into a rubber binding. It just doesn't flex anymore.
That's probably a good thing you can't get into a rubber binding now.
Yeah.
Because when are you ever going to do that again?
Never.
Unless you
Never. Jump? Yeah,
Yeah.
right. 92, 93, done.
I,
How far did you jump?
no, not far at all.
How far?
But I did.
How far?
Oh, I was 13. I went 94.
That's good.
Over there on Lake One. Spiral fracture of my femur, and then I said, I'm out. I'm done. That's enough. 1 year jumping, I'm done.
Sacramento was Jump Town for a while.
Sacramento
was
was
kid,
Jump Town. Yeah.
Tommy Meekum,
Yep.
Jump Town.
Yep.
You're not supposed to watch the right corner go by.
Yeah. Oh man, we just saw Freddie and Zach Warden go 215, 220.
Yeah.
But back in like the 80s and 90s, there's guys over there going, in practice like 185, 190. And
Mike Todd, and
that
Todd.
was a big deal back then. Okay, let's talk about jump and slalom. What is one thing that is synonymous or that's a common fundamental thread between jump and slalom, as far as body mechanics or technique otherwise? Stack. I love it.
Stack. You
I
gotta
agree.
take load of the boat's gotta eventually go through your body into your feet.
Yeah.
Or into your sling, down your right leg.
As efficiently as possible.
Yeah.
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 I agree.
You don't need to convert boat gas into spray, do you?
No, you don't. As small a spray as possible. In the old days, Crystal Point would spray the shore, and I thought that was cool. Nowadays, I like it when people have low spray and low load, and they're fast.
Dude, your
Did I
135 spray used to be epic. Was it 135 spray or 246
and
spray?
that's why I'm sitting here instead of out there skiing. So what else you got for me? Because I got a couple for you.
Okay, so there's these pictures I have from you back in the day. There's two things. There's the dreads blinding you, but we've talked about the dreads too much over the years.
Yeah.
But those pictures are hysterical when there's one dread right across your eyes.
It's like Bame from Dark Knight Rises. Like, I'm coming into 3, I don't know where it is. Oh, there it is.
But
Got it.
when I had long hair, I confess, I ran some passes where at 2-ball I turned too hard and psh.
Yeah,
But
happens.
But the other thing that used to get me about your skiing, what was this?
Oh, when I would reach?
You're always giving me the thumbs up. I'm taking pictures and you're giving me this.
Dude, what do you want me to Photoshop that? If you don't like it, Photoshop it. Who cares? Thumbs up if you like what I'm doing. I don't know. I just,
Do I need to do the thumbs up?
you know what it was?
Which size? Which side do I do it on?
You know
On side or on
you
side?
know what it was?
What was it?
I didn't, with my left hand, I'm right foot forward, so my left palm is up.
Yep.
Okay, you're with me, right?
Yep.
So I didn't grip the handle like this. I gripped the end cap with my thumb.
Oh, I do that.
Yeah, but that's how I did it all the time.
Ah.
So when I would release on 2-4, I just have my hand like that, kind of just ready to have the thumb go right back on the end cap. And so it just looked like a thumbs up, but really I was just prepped, man. I was just ready to get back on the handle and go.
So folks at home, you
So-
think this is stupid, but go find some old pictures of Marcus, and he's totally doing this around the buoy.
Thumbs up. I just like everybody to be stoked, whether I'm talking to you on shore or I'm in the water skiing. And I want you to be fired up about skiing.
It should be the new
Thumbs
Marcus
up.
Brown logo.
Thumbs up. I don't know. That's like the Dutch Brothers logo or something. I
Hey,
don't know.
I've had about like 16 espressos today, so I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm too. I don't know if you can tell, but we're both on edge right now. At least it's a soft edge because this nice new Mastercraft seat.
I can hardly wait to ski behind this thing.
I can't wait to hear the feedback because I think you're gonna love this thing.
Dude, this is so awesome. I am so stoked to be part of Mastercraft.
I wish people could see kind of some of the development stuff we did. Some of the what the boats look like, you know, when we would and what kind of boats we would actually go put on the lake and hope they floated. I mean, it's amazing what limits you'll push when you're trying to develop the flattest wake and the best pull.
These wakes are amazing. You know, I have, you know Chuck Dickey down in down in Newberry. I have more scores right up my personal best find his ProStar
Yeah.
than any other boat. Like consistency.
Yeah.
And it'd be like I'd be skiing bad and go to a tournament and I'd see Chuck's boat and I go out and run 2:39. It's like, how the hell did that happen?
Yeah.
Always just rocket behind that
Yeah.
boat.
Well, we have a good team. We had Will Bush, who's basically Mr. Zero Off, and Freddie Krueger. And we had Karen Truelove. We had Aaron Larkin. We had myself. We had a lot of the top athletes, Ryan Dodd, Brianne Dodd, who really did kind of put their heart and soul into this in whatever aspect that they could. And I think it takes a team.
Yeah.
Just like it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a freaking team to develop a good boat. And that's why I think we're so proud of this thing.
Yeah.
I'm stoked that you're in one.
Oh, I'm so stoked.
Okay, so what do your ballers want to hear about right now? What do you think, what's one thing they want us to talk about right now?
You know, I think they're all wondering if it's okay to name their dog after you.
It's already been done. Mr.
Okay.
Aaron Clow, Mr. Mastercraft himself. When I went out to Tennessee, I lived with him for 6-7 months, and they got a hound dog right before I left. And it was a brown hound, so he called him Marcus Brown Dog. And so whenever I'd call, he'd be like, hey, you know, he'd call me Marcus Brown Human. Just to make sure he knew that he was talking to me. So it's already been done.
Yeah.
But you can still do it.
You can still do it.
Yeah. I just don't think it's that great of a name for a dog.
What about Terry Winter's name for a dog? Don't you want to yell, Terry, don't crap on the lawn?
Terry, get your ass back over here. How many times I got to tell you? Tie you up next time. No, I don't know if that goes very well.
So you're doing a lot of work. You're doing professional video work.
Yep.
But on the side, you're doing a little coaching?
I'm starting to do more. It's something that's been a love of mine since 20 years ago when Mike Satterhout and Terry and I kind of put our heads together, and I think we kind of opened people's eyes. Obviously, the discussion was there that there's got to be a better way.
Right.
But until the two shortest guys basically were able to elevate their game, Terry and I, and kind of compete with everybody else, I don't think people really believed in what Mike was preaching.
Right.
Now, Mike got a little overboard and has been known to take things too far sometimes, but the fundamental tenets of what he was saying were very valid and still valid today because they are the fundamental principles of how you're supposed to water ski. Where's your center of mass? How are you accepting the loads from the boat? When and where are you releasing those loads? And I think that still holds true today, and it's testament to really what we were onto back then when you look at Nate ski, because Nate obviously still is as efficient as it gets to date. And even though Terry and I, there's this old saying, my dad used to tell me this, the best athletes, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, water skiing, any sport, the best athletes aren't always the best coaches.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And the best coaches aren't always the greatest athletes. And so what happens is, over the years, you know, I kind of stepped away. I got hurt, and Terry and I didn't always ski how we were coaching, and so people got kind of a skewed perception of what we were trying to tell everybody with West Coast slalom. So our message got lost in the details, and I really feel kind of a bit of a responsibility to claw back some of the things that we were trying to really get across to people, because I don't know if it's being articulated in as efficient a way and as simple a manner as possible. So that's a long answer, but yes, I'm going to start coaching again. I have some things in the works for next year. Obviously, I got a lake up in Chico. It's an hour and 15 minutes north of here and the Sacramento airport. So, it's a quick flight from wherever you are, unless you're on the East Coast. It's still not that bad. And it's a quick drive up to Chico. And we got a nice little man-made lake. We got a ProStar, and I think I'm going to try to start doing quite a bit more coaching next year.
Awesome.
So we'll have to get your ass up there.
Been trying to get to the ridge forever. It's a long drive.
I know it's a long drive.
Can I bring Buford Danger?
Oh yeah, it's all of a 6-hour drive, really long.
Dude,
you're showing your age if you tell me a 6-hour drive is a long drive.
It's a lifetime with a 3-year-old.
Will Bush just spent 12 hours in the boat today, and you can't drive 6 hours to come see me? Come on, man.
All right, I'm coming.
Okay, all right, good. So yeah, a little more coaching, still obviously filmmaking.
Filmmaking.
I enjoy it.
Do the folks know about the commercial work you do?
I don't know.
CNN, right?
I did some CNN stuff, some Fox Sports Net stuff for Supercross. We did some LPGA stuff up in Bannon Dunes, I guess, up in Oregon, and all that was aerial stuff. So I was either flying the drone or operating the camera, but I really love the aerial stuff. That's kind of what fueled my fire originally, gave me a spark to say, you know what, water skiing can be shown so much better than what it is. And that's really what got me into filmmaking. I have zero schooling in filmmaking. I'm a civil engineer by education, but I got hurt and I couldn't ski. I'm like, what am I going to do to keep kind of my foot in the door? But also, what am I going to do that could add the most value? And I realized that aside from like Edge and Water and some of those other, PJ McMillan did some movies, nobody was really telling or creating content on a regular basis that was telling the stories that we love to hear. And also telling stories in a way that aren't just going to be shared by skiers, but could be shared by non-skiers, because it's in a way that's not aggro, left, right, left, right, left, right. Yeah. You know what I mean? It can't just all be skiing. There's got to be stories. There's got to be flashy stuff. There's got to be some cute girls.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like that's what got me into it. So that was the impetus for learning how to do films.
Well, I didn't know you knew anything about anything on the subject. And, I got my degree back in college in photojournalism, and I look at your stuff and I love it. I think you're really talented. I'm super impressed with everything you do.
I appreciate it, but in the Truman Show, have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
Where everything's kind of fake?
No, dude, we all wing it.
I know, but what's weird is like I hear people tell me that, and it's just because I'm still learning, I almost don't believe them.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I can get it better. I can do this. I can do that. But the whole point is it's fun.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm still doing it. And that's exactly why you're doing what you're doing with BallOfSpray and providing such a great outlet for all these guys out here to fuel the fire.
Yeah.
Create stoke. That's what we're really trying to do.
Yeah.
Why do we do this? We do this because we freaking love it. We love the new boat smell. We love the old boat smell. We love being
I got a boat of another brand back in Baco that you sit in it, the smell is not
it's
that
not that
bueno.
great.
It's not that bueno.
No bueno.
No bueno.
But we love lake life, and we love the social aspect. We love the activity and the health aspect, and we love the personal challenge aspect. And for me, like going to nationals 2 weeks ago and doing that FlowPoint episode, I really identify with the parents who are letting their kids fight their own battles in the slalom course, on the going over the ramp, in the trick, on the trick ski. It's like water skiing really is a set of challenges that kids through which kids can learn how to be better humans.
Yeah.
So it helps mold kids. It's real life challenges, but it's just in the context of water skiing. Oh, you fell in your opener at nationals? Guess what? That's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. You didn't land a jump? That's going to happen. So stuff like that, or an injury. So all these things are real life things, and when kids get exposed to them early, but they also have a crew or a social network and a group that holds them up when they're down. That cannot be recreated in any other venue. And that's, to me, why I get so amped about our sport, because I really see the value in it beyond just somebody achieving their goal. It's almost in the folks who don't achieve their goal that I feel like the most growth and people get the most out of it. So that wasn't really English. Those are run-on sentences, but I'm sure you kind of got what I was trying to get at.
I follow.
Okay, good. What else?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think we should take Cole for a ride.
Yeah, let's take Cole for a ride. What's in store for you next?
You know, NorCal, BallOfSpray, cash prize is in like 3 weeks.
That's right here on this lake.
Right here on Belle Aqua Lake 3.
Yep.
And you know, part of what I'm passionate about the BallOfSpray cash prize tournaments is we spend a lot of time, not just me, but a lot of people I talk to, trying to figure out how to take a boring water ski tournament and make it entertaining.
Yep.
How can we make just a 3-round tournament kind of fun? Some years we do them Class L, some years we do them Class C. I don't think it really matters, because the point is, it's a water ski tournament with a poker game on top, right? So we'll have 40 people, and the top 16 guys go into head-to-head, and we kind of put our spin on that because, like this year, we'll have Bob Hardiman at 32 miles an hour, and we'll have Ward McLean at 34 miles an hour, and we'll have Terry Winter at 36. Well, 2 at 39, at 32, 34, and 36, we're going to score it the same.
Yep.
So Bob could be skiing against Terry.
Yep.
Which in the head-to-head. So that was kind of my spin on it, so we could have kind of a broad spread of skiers, and I think that's fun. It's kind of, you know, the opposite of the way a lot of tournaments are formatted. And then the rest of the skiers, the 24 skiers that are left, they're all in a straight-up head-to-head, so everybody has a chance to win money. We got like $6,000 in prize money.
That's
so
awesome.
I mean, it's a $200 entry, but really, you know what it is? It's a $50 entry fee and a $150 buy-in for the game.
Yeah.
Right? It's all about the game, getting people some butterflies in their stomach, getting them excited, and making a regular water ski tournament suddenly into like an event, something fun, something like, you know, get your juices flowing.
Yep. That's awesome.
So my challenge,
looking forward to it.
My challenge to people out there is have a tournament at your lake, make up a different format. You know, doesn't have to be mine, doesn't have to be the regular format, but do something unusual to make it interesting. Because, you know, there's no reason why water ski tournaments have to be a snooze.
And then if it works
Tell
and
us.
it's a success, tell us, so we can start implementing that too, because we're all in this together, and we all together can grow this thing and make it what we know and believe it can be.
Right. Or use my format, knock yourself out if you want it.
Exactly, that too. John, next time I'm going to interview you only.
Oh no.
And I got some questions queued up for you. So
All right.
stick around, guys. Thanks again for joining us. Take care.